looks a lot like the tea we have in the United States. Let me taste it here.
Oh, that's a lot of tea.
Tastes like the same tea. You know, I don't know about you, but I want to ask everybody a question. Would it be amazing, I mean, like crazy amazing, if there was a product that you could take every day? Well, I'd have to ask if you would take it every day. It was a product to be successful. Who would take that? Would you take a product to be successful? I mean, some of you guys are clapping. Yeah, I'd like to be successful. I mean, think about it. Wouldn't that be amazing if there was a product to be successful? I wonder what the back of the label would look like. What is that? Success? Nutrition facts? Does it say that you would use this 24 hours a day? What, 365 days a year? Right? Because to be successful, you wouldn't want to try to be successful just one day, or 1 week, or 1 month. You'd want to be successful every day. Because part of it, you have to, in order to be successful, you have to do the right thing again and again and again, and again and again and again. You have to do it every day. Whether you're excited or not, you got it every day, again and again and again. You have to take your products, your success product, you're going to take it every day. What is the first thing on the back of the label? Hustle. 100% hustle. In the success nutrition facts, hustle is number 1. What does it mean to hustle in business? As an entrepreneur, because that's what you are. It used to kind of not have a good meaning, being a hustler. Kind of, sort of like a negative word to be said. But in today's world, being a hustler is not just a compliment, it's necessary to succeed. I don't know if you know Mary Kay Ash, but she was the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, and she had a saying, and she said there's 3 types of people in this world. Those that make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. Right? So, hustling is not just a skill that you're going to learn and work on, but it's an art. Okay. It takes time to master, so it's not going to be like you wake up and say, okay, I'm really going to hustle and make it happen today. You have to do it again and again, just like taking your products again and again to get results. Results don't happen the first time you take the product. Results happen by doing it again and again. So, when you master the trait of hustle, you need to watch out because it is incredibly powerful. Being able to hustle in business means that you can get past failure pretty easy, adversity. but it also means that you can get things done and you can make things happen. And making things happen is a key thing in being a successful entrepreneur. It's key. As a hustler, you'll have 3 characteristic traits. Number 1, unbeatable work ethic. Listen, I'm going to tell you, every president's team member down here, people in the millionaire team, people in the get team, people on the rise, people on the move in our marketing plan, they have what? Unbeatable work ethic. Number 2, no regard for rejection. Listen, I could tell you a story about rejection that would make you cry. I'm not going to, but it's a sad story for most people. But every time I get a no, which by the way, I get no, can you believe somebody would tell me no? Dang. People say no to me. But you know, for me, they don't know that when they say no to me, that's just firing me up. Because I know that yes is coming. I know that yes is around the corner. I'm not afraid of no. I hear no and I go, yes, check. No is not bad. And the other characteristic about being a hustler is you have a knack for getting noticed. Can I say again, a knack for getting noticed? All of these guys down here, along all the floor around here, they all have a knack for getting noticed. It's just really odd when everybody gets together because everybody's trying to be the one. Okay? So, the ambition to excel and motivation to put in the hard work and generate the innovation needed to stand out is what makes a distributor stand out above everyone else. So I wonder what the second ingredient might be. Boom! Focus! Let's just start with one of our mentors, Mr. Jim Rohn. You guys know him. He said, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. I mean, hello, who can be honest here and say, yes, I can. Believe me, if I want to do something, I get focused. I'm like laser focused, and I find a way to make it happen. And if I don't, boy, I have a bag full of excuses. It's like, which one am I going to pull out today, right? Focus is the hidden driver of excellence. How often have you really had something really pressing to do for your business, and then catch yourself? Everybody, you gotta pretend that I can't see you, but I can. Catch yourself, instead of doing what you should be, you're browsing on the internet. You're shopping on the internet. You're checking your email and your chats and your Telegram and your WhatsApp. You're checking the weather. You're checking the airline or the train schedule. You're checking your Instagram. Did I get enough likes? Nobody likes my post. Oh, I've got to put a new one up. I'm telling you, distraction, 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 distraction. It's insane today, the distractions. Focus, 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 focus. The problem is there's 1,000 distractions. And for some of you, if you work from your home, the distractions are even more because your friends, your family, your neighbors don't think you're working. I have distributors, believe it or not, I have president's team members that say, you know, I don't really think Susan's working. I'm like, are you kidding? But you know, sometimes, you know, you can't argue with ignorance, okay? So what you have to do is here's some tips to help you out. Everybody needs some tips on how to focus. Number 1, do not let your inbox take over your to-do list. Do not let your inbox take over your to-do list. Number 2, create some time blocks and prioritize. And don't go beyond what you're doing in each time block and steal from another time block. Number 3, take it one step at a time. If you look at all of it, it's overwhelming. Take it one step at a time. One step at a time, and you can get through it. We can all get through it one step at a time. Number 4, this is important, especially because of all of how much we're all connected onto electronics today. Take a break from your electronics occasionally and take a walk outside of your house or your office and kind of reconnect with like reality of nature. Even if it's just a 5-minute walk, it's something about that clears your mind and reallows you to focus. Number 5, meet your goals head on. I like to get the worst thing done first. Because if I get the worst thing done first, the one thing that I would love to procrastinate on, believe me, the rest of it just happens. It happens like that and it goes fast. Number 6, when you're working, and this is going to be hard for some of you, put your phone away. Don't just turn it on silent. Put it away. Put it in a drawer. Put it where you don't see it. Because the temptation is so great just to touch that device. It's like for some of you, it's your oxygen. The telephone. Put it away and concentrate on completing your task. Number 7, ask yourself the question of 9. What is the question of 9? Is what I'm doing right now going to make a difference in 9 seconds, in 9 minutes, in 9 hours? Is it going to make a difference what I'm doing now in 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months? And if the answer is no, move on to the next thing. Like I said, go back to number 5 and do what you don't like to do first, okay? Because that probably is going to be the one thing that matters. All right, number 8, celebrate your wins every day. What do I mean by that? Listen, life is tough. Life is a struggle. It's just the reality of life. But if you only look at the struggle and you never look at the success, you never look at the positive things, then life is lousy. Your attitude goes straight to the dogs. You know, I'm not the greatest at this, but I do try. I try every single night before I go to bed. Sometimes I write it down and sometimes I just write it in my mind. But I try to think at least 3 things that happened that day that I'm grateful for. And believe me, there's always lots more. But when I get in the habit of thinking of 3 things that were good, 3 things that were good, then all that other negative stuff just doesn't start to cloud up the rest of my life. Okay, number 9, keep your blinders on. Listen, to be focused, you gotta just keep like the horse running the race, keep your blinders on so all the other distractions don't come and start stealing away your focus. And of course, number 10, don't get discouraged. Just remember what I said, you know, no matter how many negatives and no's that happen, that's okay. If you keep making a little bit of progress, 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 eventually you're going to cross the finish line. Your race is your race, it's not your neighbor's race. What you do and how fast you do it, it's your race. It doesn't matter what your neighbor does. Of course, celebrate them, but you don't have to be running their race. All you have to do is you gotta just stay focused and not get discouraged, because it's gonna happen. So next is persistence. Oops, gotta go backwards, I gave you too many. Persistence is the next ingredient. Okay, this is your deep spirit. Now we're all gonna all chant. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all don't have any sense of humor here. I mean, maybe things I say are only funny in Texas. The Republic of Texas, right? Look, here's the one thing I can tell you about being an Herbalife nutrition distributor. They're the most determined, persistent people in the entire world. You have joined a band of brothers, a group of people that understand about being persistent, not rude, being persistent. Okay? So, successful distributors just never give up on their dreams of building a fabulous business. You know, I read that building a successful business is a little bit like climbing a mountain. It's an uphill battle most of the way, but guys, the view at the top is pretty great! These folks down here, they're going to tell you, yes, the view at the top is great. Was it a success? Was it a hard job? Was it a struggle? Was it an uphill battle? Yes. Was it worth it? 100%. Would you do it again? Yeah. See, yes. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Because I know what the view looks like, so you just have to see it through my eyes. You have to see it through their eyes. Is the struggle worth it? Yes. The answer is yes, to be, not just to have your dreams come true, but the people you affect and help along the way, the change, being an agent of change and an agent of helping and seeing that you make a difference in the world. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, you are in the right place at the right time, and you are here today for a reason, to hear some words from someone to help you to understand that it is worth the struggle. It is worth the uphill battle. It is worth it. it's like this. Great leaders are survivors. Think in history, all the great leaders, I mean, from ancient times to today, they're survivors. I don't know anybody who has had a story of being a great leader who didn't have to go through some battle scars. But you know what? They got back up again. So it's not about getting knocked down. It's about persevering and having that decision that you're getting up. Just get up every day. Just get up and go back and do it again and do it again and do it again. Because it is going to happen. It is going to happen for you. I can tell you from all the things I've seen. You just have to keep going. What's our next ingredient? Is discipline. Mark Hughes, he said that your success is only limited by your own imagination and your own hard work. How true. He was one of the hardest working people I've ever known and the most disciplined person I've ever known. Most successful people in life are disciplined. It's one of the basic tools. Here's some markers of discipline. Number one, expect frustration. Listen, it's gonna happen. It's crazy to think that's not gonna happen. You're gonna leave here and it's all gonna be rainbows and roses. No, you're gonna have frustration. But you have to have the decision that you're going, the discipline and the decision that you are going to be a victor and not a victim. I challenge everyone today to decide, to write it down. I am going to be a victor. I am not going to be a victim. Number two, another marker of discipline is hard working. We talked about it earlier, but if you want to succeed, you have to be willing to work hard. Listen, this is not a get-rich-quick deal. This is a deal with a plan and a lot of hard work. It just happens to be one that really does work. So you have to put in the hard work, and that requires discipline. Number three, disciplined people are what? They're healthy. Because they recognize that having good health, the discipline of doing the things to have good health, is important if you're going to be a success in life. Because it's hard to be a success without being healthy. Lucky for us, we happen to have something to help us out. The best products in the entire planet. Number four, disciplined people have that mindset. They're careful about the thoughts that occupy their mind. Listen, we all have negative thoughts. I don't know anybody that doesn't. I have them. And the difference is you start to recognize and you're like, get out of there, negative thought. I'm going to be thinking the right thing. How can you help your mindset? It's by what you take in every day. If you're taking in things to help you with personal development, whether it's something you read, something you listen to, something you watch, something that's on the Herbalife video platform, guys, there's tons of watching Mark Hughes, listening to Jim Rohn. This personal development helps you keep the right mindset so that you can be disciplined. Disciplined people are patient. More on that later. Number 6, they're willing. They're willing to listen. They're willing to learn. They're willing to wait. Willing to seek guidance. Willing to change their mind. Willing to change their ways. Willing to give their time and their talent. Willing to give their energy. Willing to give their commitment. Number 7, they're punctual. One of the rudest things you can ever do is be late. This is in Susan Peterson's book of no-nos. When you're late to an appointment, you're telling the other person that you believe your time is more important than theirs. Don't be late. Be early. Be early by respecting their time. Telling them you believe their time is so valuable, you're here early. Okay, number 8, organize. Disciplined people have an organized system. Sometimes the organization looks like chaos in my office, but it's my own weird, organized world that I know. Don't mess with it. Everybody that's disciplined has an organized system of something. Number 9, disciplined people are accountable. You know, they're not blaming others. Why it didn't happen, why it should have happened, why it could have happened, why wouldn't it happen? They're accountable. And number 10, they're resourceful. They're always knowing and looking at all the things that need to be and finding a way. Now let's go to our next ingredient. It's going to be shocking for some of you. Are you ready? Failure. Oh my God. How many people can raise their hand? Oh, I qualified. If you didn't raise your hand, you're lying. Can y'all change this chair so I can look at the people over here? Can you quickly change it? I'm sorry, folks. Does the lamp work or is it just fake? Oh, it's on. Oh, well good. It's just really bright on the stage, so I'm just wondering if it was fake. You know, just gonna ask. All right, so here we are talking now about failure. If you're gonna be surprised here, but if you want to succeed, you gotta fail. I mean, really? Yeah. Listen, it's not just failing, it's failing and learning from your mistakes, right? I can't tell you how many mistakes I've made because the list is so long, I could probably just wrap it around this arena 50 times, okay? So, failure is not terrible, but it's something that you need to recognize that you need. Because failure and success are two sides of the same coin. Isn't that an interesting concept? Failure is on one side, success is on the other, and it's the same coin. You can't have one without the other. And the minute you realize that, believe me, the happier and more successful you'll be. Because when you have a failure, you can say, okay, I've seen this side of the coin, now let me work like crazy, apply all these things, and look at the other side of the coin, the success side. Here's the problem. Fear of failure is the biggest obstacle. Listen, I just embrace it. I know I'm going to fail sooner or later, and believe me, I failed on a ton of stuff. And remember what I said, it's about deciding to get up and do what you need to do again every day. Get up. It's not about being knocked down, it's about getting up. So don't let fear of failure ruin your chance of success. Here is a wonderful, wonderful saying to remember. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Okay, I mean, hello, that's awesome. So shoot for Founder Circle. Even if you miss, you are going to land among the stars. And there's some pretty big stars in this room. I just want to be part of yourself. We all know who he was, a very great spokesman and diplomat. He said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. So when you have a little failure, you have a little blip, just have that courage to get up and continue, because that's what matters. All right, our next ingredient on our success nutrition fact label, there it is, risk. Risk is just part of the process. But I'm not talking about crazy risk, I'm talking about calculated risk. You know, I mean, you don't want to do something crazy, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and put up a tightrope and walk between buildings because that's gonna get me noticed, and no, do calculated risk. A calculated risk is not a gamble, but it's carefully taking steps towards your goal. Innovation, and you guys are the greatest innovators in the world. Innovation cannot take place without risk. Why is that? Because innovation means something hasn't happened yet. And it takes a little risk doing something a little different, right? So, it's about teaching, it's about sharing, it's about what we know, putting new ideas into practice. All of this takes risk. Listen, you don't even know the risk it took for me to come and sit up here and do this presentation. Because I wrote this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I told my daughter, I said, oh, I don't know, what if everybody hates this? I've never done this before, I'm nervous about this. I was so nervous, I couldn't sit down behind the stage. I was pacing like a cat. Good thing I'm wearing like leopard, right? So I'm telling you, calculated risk, but take risk. Our next ingredient is patience. Oh, help me all. It's kind of like an oxymoron, isn't it? I don't know how that word translates, but having patience is the ability to tolerate waiting, delays, without becoming frustrated, agitated, the ability to remain calm when you face difficulties and adversity. It sounds really good, right? It sounds so good on paper. We've all heard, just be patient when something doesn't go to the plan. We've also heard, patience is a virtue. Yes, it's a virtue. Good things come to those who wait. Listen, if you want to understand patience, you need to understand what? Impatience. In today's modern society, we want everything yesterday, immediately. Give it to me now, want it now, want it now, want it now. We need answers. Google search. I want, even ridiculous stuff like, how old is Justin Bieber? Oh, instantly. How long has Justin Bieber been married? Instantly. Right? Google search. I'm not feeling exactly well. Dr. Google. You're laughing, but I know it's true and I know it's you. Because it's me, and I'm just like you. We need to communicate today. Do we bother sitting and talking to someone? No. We WhatsApp, we Telegram, we Messenger, we text, we SMM, and we get irritated if we don't get a response right now. What's wrong with them? I just told them that I made a dinner reservation at 7:45. We're hungry. What do? We get a delivery service to have the complete meal delivered in 25 minutes or less. We are bored and we need to be entertained. Instantly we go to our phone, our laptop, our tablet. We go to TV, to Apple TV, to Netflix, and more. Listen, society has totally misshapen so many people and their expectations. If you want to stand out, learn the art of patience. Learn the art of communication too, by the way. But patience is a requirement to reach goals because, like I said, you can't instantly start in our business and rise to the top. It takes time, even if you are mega superstar. Even if the clouds part when you walk outside, it still takes time. Be patient and recognize that, yes, it is going to take time, but each time you are going to get further and further and further along the plan to your goal. Don't be discouraged if you're not there yesterday. Because this is not something that is some sort of a fad that we do. This is something that is a reality with longevity that you'll be doing, and I am happy to report your children will be doing too. And their children, and their children, and so on and so forth. We are in a relationship business. That's what we are in. We are in a relationship business. And when you have patience, it's actually something that helps to fortify and build amazing relationships. Because relationships are not built on short term and short words and short action. We're in a relationship business. So when I look at the last part here, it does say that these facts, these success nutrition facts, are for people with high ambitions. I think it's all of you. Do you feel like that you've learned a lot? Do you feel like that you can achieve success? When the event is done, our event is over and you go back to your homes, to your villages, to your cities, to your people, take all of the knowledge that you got and don't just consume it. Don't just learn it, but it's time to apply it. Jim Rohn said, don't let your learning lead to knowledge, let your learning lead to action. Put it into action. You guys know what that means. It means you've got to what? You've got to go to work, and I leave you with 3 little phrases.